Good morning. So, I'm not quite live yet. I'm still telling my testimony, part of my testimony, and there's so many pieces and parts to it. So, again, I'm Keisha and Keisha, but Keisha for short. Um, I'm here to speak on another situation that I've gone through and hopes to reach somebody else that's gone through it or is going through it, and to let you know that you can make it through it, that Jesus is the way, and that there is help, counseling, whatever you need to get your mind back together. Anyways, so I've already spoken about having a narcissistic parent, spiritual and just a regular narcissistic parent. I'm adopted, so that's where that would make sense. But anyways, I've also found that in being raised by a narcissist, I was attracted to narcissists, and uh, I had two kids with one. At first, I didn't realize him being a narcissist. I didn't know anything about a narcissist, to be honest. I just know that this person changed everything about me. He was emotionally abusive, mentally abusive, and physically. I um I was with him for 3 years. I was with him 3 years, and when I first met him, when I first seen him, because I'm the one that actually initiated us being together. I don't know if he did some voodoo or whatever, but I walked into a bar with a acquaintance of mine, and I just seen him, like, I zeroed in on him from the moment I walked in the door, and I spoke to another girl that I knew about him, and she let me know that I was the type of girl that he would talk to, even though I was pregnant. I was like 7 months pregnant. Like, I was out there. I had no business being in that bar. I just went because I didn't want to be home. And my friend who I had walked into the bar, she knew too that I wanted to speak to him. But and to cut that short, like, she ended up going straight over to him and being dancing all over him and stuff. So I just left and I walked back home because honestly, I didn't have no business in there. And even if I really wanted him, I was pregnant with somebody else's kid. It was like nothing I really could do about it. But anyways, and I was pregnant with my second child, my daughter. I went home and let it go. You know what I'm saying? It was like nothing, obviously, that I could do about it. And a few a little while later, I ran, excuse me, into his brother who was walking up the hill. And this is how the video is going to be. I'm not trying to be perfect and, oh, I got to be special. Listen, you're going to get it raw. This is me. I ended up seeing his brother, whom I actually grew up knowing. He was friends with my brothers, and my brothers used to always have kids come over. They break danced and um, worked out. Like, they just, my brothers was all into all types of stuff, and they had lots of friends that used to come over. And I knew this boy, like, all throughout my teenage years. I never knew that he had a brother. He never spoke about his brother, let alone two brothers, three brothers. You know what I'm saying? He never spoke about his family. And I also knew of his mother, but I didn't. I don't know. It's just crazy. I used to admire his mother. His mother walked by. I used to admire her. I think she was so beautiful. She was such a beautiful black woman. But anyway, back to the story. I seen his brother. I lived in the village at the time, and he was walking up the hill, and I stopped him because I found out that that was his brother. I was like, "How come you didn't tell me you had a brother?" I was like, "But," I said, "never mind all that. Like, let him know that he's my man. Like, let him know he's my man. I'm about to have this baby, and he's my man." He's like, "All right." He gave me his brother's number, and I gave him mine. Did I give him mine? No, I think I just gave him. I took his brother's number. Like, he told him that he'll let him know. I don't know how it went. Maybe I did give him my number. I don't know. But I didn't call him. But when I went into labor, I was with one of my cousins, whom, yeah, anyway, one of my cousins. And after I had my daughter in the hospital, like, very shortly afterwards, while I was in the hospital, the second day, my cousin was like, I was talking to her about how I seen him and I really liked him and blah, 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 blah. She was like, "Go, didn't call him now." Like, I wasn't inside a hospital bed from just giving birth to a child the day before. Almost died, mind you. I almost bled out. Like, I know business trying to get a hold. I don't know. But anyway, she called him, so I talked to him on the phone, and we made a decision that when I went home, he would come and see me. And he did. He really did. He was great, perfect, said all the nice things, was so attentive. And he liked when I surprised him. Like, he was at the door when I came home with my daughter. He helped me with my daughter. Like, he was so hands on, like, with everything. He was perfect. Like, we moved really, really fast. Like, it was like he wanted to do everything, that he was interested in all the things that I was interested in. He liked everything that I liked. And I let him move in with me. He even, like, my daughter, she was born, well, she wasn't born with this thing. She was around that infant milk time when they was giving the kids like the milk that was coming from the cows, but the babies that were the babies that were born premature were being sick. It was tearing up their intestines. My daughter was one of those kids. Another story. But he actually ended up saving my daughter, or well, he ended up help save my daughter, because I kept taking her back and forth to the doctor. She was projectile vomiting and puking up blood and all this stuff. It was like a horrible, horrible thing. She literally almost died. She was weighing 6 pounds at 2 months old. Like, it was horrible. And we woke up one morning and he was like, "Yo, we need to take her to the hospital. She doesn't look well." Right. And that honestly lets me know the timeline, because he was still good at that time. I hadn't had any problems with him. You know what I'm saying? But so we took my daughter to the hospital, and she needed emergency surgery. But she was so dehydrated. Like, they said, if we didn't bring her there, she would have died within 24 hours. Okay, that was like, I guess that was his last big hurrah, because after that, after I went through all that, her healing and stuff, and going through her surgery, and then having her start to heal, I was pretty occupied with like physical therapy for her and stuff, like getting her um just her healing and stuff. Or maybe I'm jumping ahead of myself. I don't know, but never mind that. He helped save my daughter. Okay. But in like the third month, he started going out with his friends, and then he stopped liking I used to make him dinners and stuff, just surprise him dinners, like I would say like once a week. It wasn't all the time, you know what I'm saying? At first he enjoyed it. But he started to not like, he started to act like I was trying to keep him from going out, and like just from doing nice things for him. Oh, you're just trying to keep me in the house. Like, it's a dinner. If you want, like, you eat and go out if you want to go afterwards. Like, he like literally starting these big fights with me, and he would leave. Mind you, also 3 months in, um, his kid's mother came and dropped off his 5 kids, dropped them all off, and just took off with their money, all that stuff. Like, I was taking care of the kids off what I was getting for my children, and what little he would even bother. If we, well, all those kids, like, we would have no food. We'd run out of what I had, and I'd be like, "Oh, we need some food from the market." He would literally hand me $20, $20 for 10 people, $20. Like, what are we gonna do with $20? Like, I don't even understand. Like, I think at the time only 9 people, but still was the same way with Eric. Anyways, he always like gave me like the bare minimum. And if I needed help, he would make me go through everybody else before he would. Oh, you should have just asked me. Like, knowing dang on well he wasn't like you heard me. You see these bills, like you're here. You're not helping. Then his phone would just go off. It would just ring all the time. It would ring, 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 ring. Oh, and he used to sell drugs. Still does to this day, but what he used to sell drugs. And he would say that like these girls would call his phone because of because they wanted drugs. Like, well, then why are you not answering them? Like, why are you just having them call? So I picked up his phone one time, and this girl answered. I said hello. She was like, "Can I speak to Quan?" I was like, this is his girlfriend. I said, I mentioned what she wanted, whatever. I was like, but I don't understand why you just keep calling. Like, you know what I'm saying? He'll call you back when he can. She's like, what? I met him at the club yesterday, and he was pretty insistent he didn't have a girl. She said, but you know what I'm saying? I said, you know what? Just hold on. I kept her on the phone while he got back to the car. And I said, now, who'd you say this girl was? I believe her name was Paula. He was like, oh, she's just calling for some green. You know what I'm saying? And I said, all right, you can speak. She started talking, and she was like, I met you last night at the bar. You know what I'm saying? Blah, blah, blew up his spot. And this is where I went wrong, because I should have left him alone. Because how am I taking care of your kids and doing all this stuff for you? And this is how you got this is how you're doing me. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how we ended that night. I know we still was together. It wasn't like we broke up. Like I just got in an argument with him, and you know what I'm saying? Excuse that, because he had been so good and just so attentive, and just he liked all the things that I liked, and he saved my daughter. Like I had all these excuses, these reasons. You know what I'm saying? Just to keep dismissing the stuff that he was doing, and people were talking about how much he was cheating on me and who he was with, and he always had the story. I don't know why you believe everybody, they're just talking. Like, people are just so bored around here that they're talking about you. They have nothing better to do with themselves. They're just talking about you. Like, and it came to the point where I was like out of control, like fighting over him with girls. Like, this man is going out and he's sleeping with these women, and I'm beating these women up. I'm fighting this girl, that girl, like just stupid. Like, my mind's gone. Like, I'm angry with these women. I'm mad at him a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Getting over it. But like, I'm fighting these women, making a fool out of myself, a complete fool out of myself. Like, my head was gone. Like, I don't understand how I let myself. Well, it was obviously it's not just ourselves, because you got to understand, narcissists are um for lack of a better term, warlocks. They mess with you emotionally, they mess with your head, and even in the act of grown up business, the things that they make you say, like, oh, this is yours, or I belong to you, I'm gonna love you forever, and just, you know what I'm saying, like, I like just they make you say things that cause a bond. And don't get me wrong, when you have intercourse with the person, you automatically commit to create a soul tie. But it's a ritual. Sex is a ritual anyways, and forgive me if I'm not supposed to say that. Sex is a ritual anyways, but then they add in the words and stuff, and they just twist you up and bind you all up, and you just like, you're crazy. I didn't know all this stuff then. I learned this now. But like, yeah, I was out of control, fighting everybody, and just angry at the world, losing weight, on drugs, because that's all we ever did. We partied. Like, I was on, like, and I'm just gonna be real with you. Like, we did ecstasy. I hope that's okay to say. And green, you know what I'm saying? Like, we were out of control. And I used to think it was funny. People called us the Bobby and Whitney of Woonsocket, but really, that's not cute. But I was so, like, I was really skinny back then. Like, I seen a picture of myself. I was so unhealthy, so sunken in. Like, I don't even know how I let myself get like that. Like, I know it wasn't just me, but I keep saying that. Like, I get like these type of people, these men, not even these men, that man for me, and I don't know for you, maybe it is a woman. They drain you. Your focus becomes more them. Like, don't get me wrong, I was taking care of the kids, but if I tell you, I don't know where all those years went. Like, I know I threw their birthday parties. I know I always made sure that they had Christmases, and like, I don't know where that time went. It's like a blur. It's like a big fog on my brain. I don't remember those times. I even told my older two kids, like, I I robbed them of that time. I robbed myself of the time of my children growing up. I robbed myself being submersed in this man and in these drugs and partying. Like, I robbed myself of my children growing up. But also in that, I didn't realize, like, I used to think that no, let me not go off subject. I'm gonna stick to him. Anyways, I ended up being with him before we had our first kid for 3 years. Like, I don't even know if all that even matters. But when I got pregnant with my daughter, he acted like, first of all, he knew that he got me pregnant with my daughter. There was no way that he didn't know. I warned him the night that he wanted to do it, and I let him know that we shouldn't, like, because obviously I was fertile, and I was going to get pregnant. There's no way. And then you got to understand, power of life and death in the tongue. I spoke it, and that was not the first time that I ever did that. But I spoke that into existence, and he knew, and he wanted to do it anyway. So I gave in. No matter what he wanted to do, I always gave in. I would know better, but if he said it, I would just do it. Like, and I knew better. And I didn't want no kids with him at the time. It's not that you know what I'm saying? It's not that I was thinking, oh, I didn't want him. Even with all the stuff that he was doing, like, at the time, I didn't want to have a baby. But I let him talk me into it. We was at this hotel with these other two people. And no, it sounds way worse than no. But anyways, I ended up finding out I was pregnant the next 4 weeks afterwards. I keep thinking that it was 2 weeks, but it was 4 weeks afterwards. And like when I checked to see if I was pregnant, he was like, "How? What made you check?" Like literally, I got my menstrual for not even an hour in a day. Like, you know what I'm saying? So the next day I was like, oh, I gotta check. So I checked. Sure enough, I was pregnant. So I brought it to him. And he was like, he seemed okay knowing it. Like, you know what I'm saying? What you mad about? You already got all these kids over here. You already had 5 kids. You know what I'm saying? Like you know the process. You know how this works. He was fine with it. So I ended up going back home to my house because he was at his mom's. And his mom had just died after that. And I didn't even get into that. Like his mother, I will go back to the pregnancy thing, but his mom was dying of colon cancer. And this man, like no matter what I did, I tried to be supportive. I wanted to like help him when it came to his mother, but he was so mean to me. He treated me like I couldn't do anything right. I would call like he had me so uncomfortable with just going and being a woman to him. Like I would call him and be like, "Do you want me to come and be by your side? Like what's going on? Why are you effing calling me?" Asking me stupid questions and just would go off on me. He treated me like such crap. Like he kept me feeling like I just couldn't do anything right. Like I just felt so small and so useless. Like I'm trying to be there for you, but you are beating me down for trying to love you, for trying to care. Like he just would annihilate my feelings. He would annihilate my efforts. Like just he just tore me down. Like he just made me feel like I couldn't say or do anything right. Like if I was around him, like I couldn't breathe wrong. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, like and he was also like he was cheating on me while his mom was sick and dying. Like it was just crazy. Like I went to his house shortly after his mother died. Before I found out, no, I think I was pregnant with our daughter. And listen, I was doing stuff when I was pregnant I had no business doing, and that's just being honest. Like, but I was pregnant with our daughter like after this. Well, okay, I'll go back to the story. But when I found out I was pregnant, the day afterwards, he called me on the phone. I was at home, and he told me to have an abortion. He didn't want to have another kid. He wasn't ready for that, and he didn't think we were ready for that. Like, and so I told him, like, if you didn't think we were ready for that, when I told you that that was a possibility, why did you press me to do it? I'm not killing my kid because all of a sudden now you worried about how many kids you got. Sounds like a personal problem. You got another one on the way. So, um, shortly after that, I was at his house, his mother's house where he was living now that his mom passed away. And he had a friend living with him, and we were in the bedroom, and I came out to go to the bathroom. Well, I think they had knocked on his friend knocked on the door, but I came out to go to the bathroom, and there was this young girl, this young Spanish girl, just sitting outside the room, like sitting next to his friend, but sitting far across from the couch. It was really awkward. So I was talking to him when I came back, like, who, why would he have company? And she like she was crying, like she looked odd, like she looked uncomfortable. Come to find out, she was there for my kid's father, but she was waiting patiently in the room. Like he was messing with her head too. Like, and I'm glad he didn't tell me because I probably would have went after the girl for the way that I was when it came to him. But like I realize now, it's just crazy to realize now that he really was putting those spells on. And it's just like people think, oh, witchcraft, you got to be doing like the using a cauldron or conjuring up something or voodoo dolls and stuff. No, it is not just that. Our mouths can be a conduit for witchcraft. Like, don't get it twisted. Like when they tell you to call something theirs or whose is it, and like just saying things during the act of intercourse, like it is a whole ritual. Like it's a ritual. It really is in itself. And then when they speak those words and you come into agreement with it, it messes with your mind. So this poor girl is sitting on the couch listening to us, for lack of a better word, God forgive me. And like this man is with like just no care in the world. And God forgive me because I know you heard my thought. Forgive me, Lord. But anyways, a little while after that, I'm home and I'm laying on my couch and stuff, and he walks in my house and he's like, oh, who's such and such? I'm not gonna name names because you know what I'm saying, that's just inappropriate. We don't do that here. We're not here to do that. Anybody who knows, you know. He comes in and asks me about this person that I had talked to when I was like 18 years old. Mind you, I'm 22, 23 years old. No, 22. 22 when I got with him. Probably close to 20. No, I was 22 when I got with him. I had my daughter 22, 23, 24, 25. So I was pregnant, probably like pregnant 25. And he's asking me about this person, and I'm like, somebody that I was with when I was 18, like, you know what I'm saying, completely tried. And the energy that he had when he came in, it was negative. He wanted to fight and argue with me, but I shut him down real quick, so he just turned right around and walked out the house. He didn't say anything else to me. I just stayed laying on the couch because I was like sick. I wasn't feeling good, like morning sickness type. But and that whole pregnancy, he turned up cheating on me and just doing. I was even fighting while I was pregnant. Like, he just, like, he made sure that I was stuck. Like, he acted like he didn't want me having my daughter, but either one of my daughters. But like, it was all a control thing. It was control tactics. Like, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, we ended up losing that house. I ended up losing my house. Like, everything went to crap being with him. Like, everything went to crap. I was like, I used to keep my house clean. My house used to be spotless. I used to keep my walls clean. You couldn't even touch my walls. But when I got with him, I started like being too tired to clean. Like, I would feel drained, and I didn't realize that it was that could be a part of it. I didn't realize the symptoms of being with a narcissist, but I was drained. I couldn't clean. Like, getting up in the morning, I didn't want to get up. I would force myself to get up to like feed my kids or whatever. But like, it took me a while to get up and clean my house. Like, I kept getting like cussed out by the office where I was living because my house would just be in disarray, and it wasn't me. But like, when I tell you I couldn't, it wasn't my character. Yeah. But when I tell you I couldn't, like, excuse me, I couldn't like break myself out of it. It was just like, it was like a weight, like such a weight. But anyway, I ended up losing that house or whatever, and I ended up going to stay with people, and like, just, it was people that I met through him. And I had my daughter while I was staying with this person. And even while staying with this person, she started like having problems with me too. And I come to find out they were doing stuff at hotels with my kid's father, like just all behind my back, like everybody. Like, you'd be surprised what's sitting right in front of your face. And like, people just causing trouble with me for no reason. Like, I was nice. I always looked out for everybody if I could. I'm doing everybody's hair. I'm like just really being nice to everyone. And these people are just behind my back, mingling with my kid's father and acting like I'm the problem. Like, I'm the reason why their life is falling apart. And like, this man's disappearing at times and stuff. You know what I'm saying? One time at her house at the end of my pregnancy with my daughter, like 3 weeks before I was due to have her, he like came in flipping out about thinking that I was with somebody else, which I'm not gonna lie, I think I had something to do with that. I think I made him think that I could find better or whatever. And he came in, he busted in her house late night. Well, came in with her boyfriend, because I guess her and her boyfriend were fighting. I think that night too, and he had the key, let him in the house. He came in and stole my phone. So we was like wrestling for my phone, and he slammed the door, knob, like the knob of the door, into my stomach, which caused me to go into early labor. This man didn't even turn back to see if I was okay or anything. He just took off. So I ended up calling the cops and found a report on him and stuff. I went to the hospital. They stopped my contractions and stuff. And I tell you, I kid you not, out of all the turmoil this man put me through my whole pregnancy, like, I never cried. I never, ever cried. I never felt like, I never let it touch me. Like, he put me through so much, so much. Like, I never let it, honestly, I never let myself feel it. I just kept ignoring it. But this day, in this particular situation, like, it hit me like a ton of bricks. The cops came and let me know that they arrested him and stuff, and they got my phone back. They gave me my phone. And he was being charged and whatever. And I was just in there with the nurse, and I was like, thank you. Just not thank you. Like, I feel right now, like, just thanking them, you know what I'm saying? And I went to go watch something. The lady asked me something that had nothing to do with anything about my feelings. And I just started crying. It was like a dam broke, and I just started crying. Like I just let everything out, and I could not stop crying. Couldn't breathe, like just crying. And she consoled me and stuff, and then they let me know that it was like they'll keep him away, blah blah blah. Like he don't have to come up in there, because they did let him out. But when I go into labor, that and actually have her, that they could keep him away. But I didn't want that. You know what I'm saying? I didn't. I, that man had a hold on me. I can't even lie. Like he had a hold on me. I didn't